The music is fantastic.
Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, you got to hear it.
How about this?
Oh, yeah. That's right, babies. HTLA Radio 1, New York's best rock. We're bringing you the dirty backdoor tunes.
I just had to do that, you know.
Yes.
Gotta do something. Sometimes you just have to, you know, press a button and hold on to your butt. That's what you gotta do. So getting back to what the hell I was talking about, my drug problem.
Yes.
Well, and actually, my cousin Tony.
Yes.
I don't know if he's listening or is on today. I know Sonia is, but
yes.
Man, he and I got some bloody stories. Oh yeah. Remember this one time, one for the boys.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he and I guess, I don't know, we were like 21, 22, something like that.
Yes.
And it was summertime. We were cruising the beaches looking for pussy. And, well, you know, if there's two dumb Canadians who are going to wander into a biker gang, yes, of course, that would be me and Tony.
Yeah.
So we walk into this biker gang. They're down on the beach, and
yes.
you know they're all sitting there around this campfire in broad daylight. You know, with tons of booze. Like,
yes.
It's like Tony and I were like bloodhounds for the booze. Yeah, anyway, so we're out there. We're looking for women. We're looking for booze. We're looking for anything we can get our hands on. Yeah. Right? And we come across, like, there must have been 20 of the mothers. And, you know, we walking by them. We're trying to be all, you know, Canadian and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, we're just two young Canadian white boys that don't know anything. Yeah, please don't fuck us. Please don't. Oh, yeah, no, you laugh, but these guys were big.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, the Sons of Anarchy look like, I don't know, the Muppets compared to these guys, you know? So anyway, you know, we're walking by them, and they call us over.
Yes.
And, you know, Tony and I do what every red-blooded Canadian boy would do in that situation and poot our pants. You know.
Hey, boys, come on over here.
You know. So whatever, we go over to them, and
yes.
They're handing us beer and shit.
Yes.
It's like, damn, okay, baby, let's do that, motherfucker.
Oh, my God, he's becoming black. I like it. Do a little rap.
I'm doing a motherfucking rap with the bikers?
Yes.
And so anyway, we sit down with them, and you know, next thing you know, it's like 7 hours later. You know, the sun has gone down, the fire has gotten up to like 20 feet tall, you know. So there we are. We're at the beach and we're drinking with the bikers. We're getting kind of loaded at this point in time, and you know, the head biker dude, it was the who the hell was it? Satan's Choice, I think it was. Yeah?
Yes. Satan's
Choice. Yeah, they're out of Toronto, I think. I don't know what. Oh, yes, I do know what they were doing in Victoria. They were there to kill one of their own. Yes, but as far as the RCMP and I are concerned, we don't know nothing. Yes. So anyway, you know, they start talking about one for the boys.
Yes.
And Tony and I are like, what the fuck are they? And they're pouring their beer and their hard liquor and stuff in the sand.
Yes.
Well, you know, stupid me that's got to know everything. I'm like, what is that for? What do you mean one for the boys? Yeah. And the guy's like, well, you know, it's for all our fallen buddies.
Yes.
You know? This is for Jimmy up in Kingston. This is Luis down in Yonge Street. You know, and they're listing off all the guys who have died.
Yes.
And pouring huge amounts of booze into the sand.
Yeah.
Of course, all Tony and I can think of is we're just as sad as they are.
Yes.
But it's not sad for their fallen brethren. It's all the lost booze. Yeah.
It's about fucking time. Move on. Move
yeah,
on.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Whatever. It's my new thing.
Yes.
I like to throw in a personal story. Something that means something to me, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
Throw in a little personal story into the coffee and cigarettes mix, and see how many grinds are at the bottom. That's all. And I'm freaking sad now because Leanne Thomas left in the middle of the story.
Yes.
So now I'm thinking nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
No, so that's fine. I can get back at them. Gilbert, give us that Jewish cantor done so graciously as Cary Grant.
Hey, Joe, hey, Cary Grant as a cantor. Hey, Joe, hey,
Oh, God. Well, thank you. Thank you for that very much.
Yes.
That was a great way to end my beach biker story. Well, moving on today, we do have to move on, and it is the hour of 6.
Yes.
It is. We've actually stretched that 9 minutes with absolutely nothing. We've done it. I feel all, accomplished and stuff. So now we can go on to our second commercial break, but oh no.
Yes.
No. God damn it. Yeah, Kissy Springer in the booth there.
Yes.
She's saying you're not going for a break until you do Frankie with the weather. And I'm signaling her with my eyebrows. This is something that we don't want to do today. The Frankie Fun and Games thing was good a couple of weeks ago. It's not so great anymore. Now we got Stacey Watts back. Let's get her with our weather or masturbating or something.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
We'll get to that. All right, fine. Well, I don't care. I'm taking off my headphones, though.
Yes.
I'm not listening.
Yes.
So there you go, listeners. If you're out there, if the host of the show isn't actually listening, yeah, you probably shouldn't, too. Of course, update from Phil DeYoung. Grand Rapids is up to 79 degrees right now and still cloudy. Yeah. And of course, here in Central Park, 84 degrees and a little bit of hazy cloud over the sun, but it's still nice and hot. And, I guess now, without further ado, we have to go to Frankie McDonald with your weather from possibly 3 years ago. Yes.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own team station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is headed towards Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015. It's going to bring up to 50-plus millimeters of rain, especially on Tuesday evening. It's going to bring a lot of flooding into windy conditions. It's going to rain sideways and wind-driven rain. Center tropical disturbances moving northward to the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to bring a ton of rain in Houston, Texas, Galveston, Texas, and the surrounding communities as well. It's going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to bring windy conditions, and the sewers will back up in the streets. It's going to bring a lot of heavy rain in Houston, Texas, and the surrounding areas and the heavy rain will continue on to Wednesday, June 17th, 2015 in Houston, Texas, and Galveston, Texas, and Tuesday, June 16th, 2015 will not be a good day to do your outdoor activities because it's going to be a lot of rain. I want people in Houston, Texas to clean out the storm drains before a major storm with a lot of rain to hit Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, especially during evening hours. It's going to bring a lot of rain windy conditions and sideways rain in Houston, Texas, and Tuesday, June 16th, 2015 into Wednesday, June 17th, 2015 will not be a good day to head to the beach and go swimming in Galveston, Texas. Since it's going to be a lot of rain in
we got
Houston, Texas on Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, which is 6 to 10 inches of rain as well. Big boy Houston, Texas, big prepared. Have your rain boots ready for raincoats, ready for raincoats, ready.
Suits, yeah.
When you go for a walk, wear your rain gear, wear your rain boots, wear your raincoats to keep you dry.
Coke, Pepsi.
Don't walk through the puddles. Avoid the puddles when you go for a walk. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Have your iPads charged, have your iPods charged, have your cell phones charged.
Well, somebody had to shut him up. Might as well be me. That's right. Time to shut the hell up, Frankie McDonald. HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, right here with your coffee and cigarettes Wednesday grinder. That's right, 19th of August, 2015. 82 degrees, Central Park right now, under, well, sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy skies. Phil reports that Grand Rapids, Michigan right now is a toasty 81. No word on the rain or the snow or anything. It could be snowing in Grand Rapids, so, better put on your parkas and all that good stuff. Yeah. Well, hey, welcome to the show, gang. Your coffee and cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. And if you haven't been there yet, get on over NewYork'sBestTalk.com. You can even hang out on the show page, listen to the show, get in the chat room there, and exchange dirty pictures of children, which is what Jared wants you to do. That's right. All kinds of stuff on the show today. Top in the news worldwide, of course, is Jared Fogle to plead guilty to child porn and sex with minors. Yes, hey. Subway did tell him to eat fresh, didn't they? Also, we got your Trump news today. Yes, Trump talks Kelly Flap, Clinton emails, Bill Cosby, and so much more. Also, as we're honoring Sex with Kids Day, it seems, we'll tell you about the college prostitution ring offering a sex menu of services. And despite same-sex marriage rulings, gay adoption rights are still uncertain in many states. Other stories we're following, including it. Yes, they did it. The first female soldiers graduating Ranger School today. And a suspect has been arrested in the Statue of Liberty bombing hoax. Well, there you go. Don't you dare blow up my lady. That's right. Well, it's Hump Day, gang. Let's get it on. All that and so much more today. So, hey, why don't you come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up. This Manhattan Cowboy's about to get some coffee time. There it is. That's the tune we all know and love. Lets you know it's coffee time everywhere on the planet. That's right. We've declared this the official coffee time globally. So whatever time zone you are, do the conversion to Eastern Standard Time and you will be at coffee time. That's right. Well, in the booth, pushing the buttons, making the show go. Actually, I should say she's in a half booth today. They've sort of ripped it down and I don't know what the hell they're doing. They've got it half covered with Tyvek housing insulation or some bloody thing. I don't know. Yeah, it's the one, the only Kissy Springer in the booth, pushing those buttons, making the show go today. And she's, of course, pushing the buttons on that PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer. Yes, finally furnished by the folks at PreSonus.com. And hey, if you're looking for anything in the audio realm, be it professional or amateur, you definitely want to get over there and check out their gear. They got some sweet stuff, and oh, the pretty lights. That's right. Also today, this show is brought to you by the fine folks, Tim Hortons, New York City. That's right, with those 8 fine locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. That's right, Tim Hortons, always fresh. Kind of like Jared's date selection. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. Yeah. I want to do some welcomes and shout-outs to, of course, the one, the only Shelley Nichols. She's in the house today, as well as Leanne Thomas from Nashville, Tennessee. Also, the one, the only Devlon Crawford is in the house. And, of course, our Phil DeYoung, yes, weatherman extraordinaire that doesn't sound like a mongoloid. That's right, Phil DeYoung. He's got your weather for Grand Rapids. Well, moving on today, I don't do this show alone, although some say I should because these guys are whack. Yeah, shut up. We'll get to you in a minute. That's right. First coming to us from Millbay Film and Television Production Studios in the beautiful town of Millbay, British Columbia, Canada, is the one, the only 35-time nominated, never won film director extraordinaire. Also did all kinds of TV through the years, worked on the A-Team and The Outer Limits and The Professional and all kinds of good stuff. Well, he's with us today, coming to us live via satellite, because that's how he likes us to say it. He doesn't like the fact that he's just on the phone.
Yeah.
Of course, Louis Lawless. Yes, are you there, sir?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
No, I know, but that's fine. You're good.
Wait a minute, I got lost.
No.
H-T-L-A.
No.
Oh, H-T-L-A.
No.
Hell is that?
No, you're not lost, and that's your phone. Oh, I guess I should say it's your satellite. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Louis. It's always great to have you.
He called me, and he called me. He kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
That wasn't me. That was Kissy, and you did answer the phone. You're on it right now. Yeah. Well, I tell you, what a frickin' mess here.
Yes.
Of course, the cackling, laughing hyena from Aladdin. No. No, I'm sorry. That was Lion King, and he was not in that.
Yes.
No, from the beautiful classic Disney feature.
Yes.
The famed, obnoxious, angry little parrot from Aladdin. Yes, HTLA is proud to present Iago. Yes. Affleck!
Yes.
Affleck!
Same thing.
Yeah, I bet the money wasn't. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Gilbert.
Yes.
It's good to have you, as always. I mean, the show would be nothing without you, and clearly, tomorrow, actually, I think we're having Morgan Freeman come back for a show.
Yes.
And he'll be here with you guys, and, we can only hope he's in a better mood than he was last time he was here. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. But, hey, welcome to the show, guys. We've got all kinds of good stuff for you today, including...
Yes.
Yeah, including a sensational new pop star that's hit Manhattan, New York City today. And
That was a mistake on my part.
No, it's not Louis Lawless. No. New pop star. Of course, and actually, this one's very near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
She's actually my sister-in-law.
Yes.
Yes, the one and only Sonia Noel Adrian has actually cut a I guess it's a remix or something.
Yes.
Is that what the damn kids call it these days? Yo, she be doing a remix, bringing it down. Yeah, she did the Anne Murray song.
Yes.
Yeah, what is it? Snowbird.
Yes.
That's it. Spread your tiny wings and fly away. Yeah, well, she's done a remix of that, and was stupid enough to share it with me on Facebook this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're all going to get to hear the pop sensation. Yes, bigger than Taylor Suck Me Swift. Yeah, that's right. The one, the only Sonia Noel Adrian coming up in the show today. Also, I do have...
Yes.
We got the rights early this morning to do this on the show today, so we're going to do this on the show today.
Yes.
Yes, we got the okay and the clear to do this, and I'm going to do this just for Sonia's husband, Tony.
Yes.
A.K.A. my cousin, brother, from another mother. Really, the best drummer to come out of Canada. Everybody says, "Oh, it's Neil Peart, Neil Peart, Neil Peart."
Yes.
Yeah. Screw you. You haven't heard Tony Adrian. Yeah. Oh, and Gilbert, I see Sonia has actually made her way to the live chat room.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that. Yes. And she didn't think that we had the technology here, what with all the construction going on, to actually record that bitch. Yeah. Oh, but rest assured, Sonia, you did, and let me tell you, you're going to have some agents from NYC calling you, because this is taking the city by storm. I've been playing it all day.
Yes.
Yeah, the drive at 5. Everybody was out of their cars on the GWB just dancing.
Yeah.
Pretty chicken wings, you fly away.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Oh, but they're going to love her, Louie. Oh, yeah. No, they will. You'll see. You'll
About
see.
fucking time. Move on.
Okay. Kissy, you not beeping today?
Yes.
No? Okay. All right. That's fine.
That was a mistake on my part.
No, it's fine. We told you could. She just doesn't do it sometimes because, I don't know, she's blacking on a coffee break? I don't know. I'm not sure, but whatever. We're here.
Yes.
And that's the important thing, because we are the superstars.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. You don't get it any better. Seinfeld!
Hey, can I see your dick?
Yes! Oh, yes. Yes, you are mighty quick with that, boy, but I'm faster than you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know what we should do.
Yes.
We should have a what do you call it? We should have one of those things where I think they do it in comedy clubs a lot.
Yes.
Where they have those, they'll have two comics come up.
Yes.
And, the one will do an impression of somebody that they do really good.
Yes.
And then the other one will do an impression, right away, of I guess, their best impression. And
yes.
And they'll do that right away. And then I guess, what is it? The audience votes to see who's the quickest comedy in the West?
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure how that rolls, but... well, I think we could do that. I do a pretty mean George Takei.
Yes.
I mean, well, I guess as mean as you can get with a 90-year-old Asian homosexual. Yeah. But yeah, I think we should definitely do that little. We'll do the draw, scumbag. Yeah. That's got me thinking now. Well, you know what we should do while I'm thinking, of course?
Yes.
Yeah, we should play Sonia's song.
Yes.
That's right. So the world debut, we've already debuted it, of course, in New York City. So that's right. We another thing that we did, too, is the guys down at the HTLA ad department.
Yes.
They went and off her Facebook there. They got some images of her. So we did up some promotional posters.
Yes.
And I believe at 5:29 this afternoon in Times Square, it is actually going up. So I guess without further ado, this is what we got. What 2 minutes? 2 minutes. It's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes long.
Yes.
And we should time it so that when the billboard goes up on Times Square there at 5:29. We can just let loose with the speakers outside Studio 2. Yeah? I think that's definitely good. But I guess to carry us through there, we got another 4 minutes to go.
Yes.
And instead of getting into the Jared Subway baby effing debacle, don't want to get into that because that's going to be longer than 4 minutes. Don't want to screw around with that. Louis, give us how about a story? Give us a story.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
Yes.
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession, and that was the women.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
he would walk into. We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the females. And he went and got him and gave him a note, and every 20 or 30 minutes they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business,
Yes, it is, Louis. Thank you. You ate at that time admirably. Yeah. All right. So looking at 5:27 in the p.m. Well, actually 5:27:40.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait till we get up to 5:28 on the nose.
Yes.
That's what we'll do, and then we'll punch it out there on the speakers. Crowds will gather around in Times Square. There, they'll be like, "What the hell is this shit?" Right? And then, yes, then, my children, then, 60 seconds later, boom. That's right. You can consider yourself terrorized by ISIS, Sonia. Yes, that's it.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
I'm telling you, man, there are going to be tons of New Yorkers loving this. Wait, I just got to see if the speakers are on.
Yes.
You got it? Yeah? Monitors? Okay. And she says the monitors are on. So, hey, gang, you're listening to HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. That's right. Crashman here with you on the Coffee and Cigarettes this afternoon. Your Wednesday grinder. August 19th, 2015, 82 degrees Central Park. And, hey, we got something special for you all out there today in the Times Square, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, we do. That's right. You like Taylor Swift, do you? Well, you're going to like this girl a whole lot more. Yes, brand new pop sensation, Sonia Noel Adrian, coming at you with Snowbird. There you go.
When I was young, my heart was young and true. And anything that it would tell me, I would do. But now I feel such emptiness within. For the thing that I want most in life is a thing that I can't win. Spread your magic wings and fly away. And take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue. And if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. The breeze along the river seems to say that you'll only break my heart again should I decide to stay.
Everybody!
So little snowbird, that land of gentle breezes where the peaceful waters flow. Wrap your hiding wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. What I love forever is untrue. And if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. And if I could, you know that I would fly away with you.
Oh, yeah! Right. Let's put our hands together for that stuff there. You know, that stuff there.
Yes.
Oh, my God, I'm breaking into my Jimmy Stewart. Oh, geez.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Well, if they weren't in Times Square, they sure are now. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sonia, for allowing us to break the exclusive re-release remix Feet. Yes, Feet, yo. That's right. Oh, are the speakers off now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we don't want anybody else hearing what the hell we're saying. So, well, I'm not going to ask Louis, of course.
Yes.
You know, he'd just rant on about birth control or something. But But Gilbert,
Yes.
you know, what did you think about Sonia's tune there? I'm sure you're familiar with Anne Murray, the Canadian stellar singing person. But you know, what did you really think? Give us your honest opinion before you start screwing around.
Well, it's not awful, but
Yeah.
just not good.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. We'll leave it at that, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Sonia. That was wonderful, and I'm sure all of the HTLD listeners around the world and the people on the loudspeakers in Times Square loved it. Yes, and stay tuned, gang, because so many of you other listeners out there, well, you make yourselves quite available on Facebook to me, and, well, you never know what I'm going to do with your sound bites.
Yes.
You know? Phil DeYoung said it in the chat room a few moments ago. He said it perfectly. He's like, I've learned to be careful what I say or do around Crashman. Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, see, Louie knows too. Yeah. Well, listen, gang, let's move on with the big show now that we're, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes late for the commercial. We will, I promise, get to that story about Jared and Subway and banging children. We will. We will, but, you know, well, we will get to it, trust me. And Kissy, keep your goddamn panties on. We will get to the commercials, You know, call me crazy, but I just don't feel that people tune into HTLA to listen to commercials. You know? No, they live for little stories like, Louie, what did you do last weekend?
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Yeah, see? You know, day after day, time after time, you know, people keep coming back here for the likes of myself and Gilbert.
Yes.
Yes, I actually got some commentary about your little act here, Gilbert, yesterday from Tony, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, Tony Adrian, Sonia's very proud, happy husband. Yes, he did mention to me about your performance in the show being, how do you stand that guy every day? Well, you know, I just do that. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yes.
You know, that's there's nothing else about it.
How many different families do you have?
Enough to pay off with the big bucks. Thank you. Thank you. I think Louis is going into his thing again. Yeah. We got so many more, but I mean, you know, Brock Favors, you know, and come on, you know, let's all be honest here. You know, my feelings aside, who doesn't love a good Frankie McDonald weather alert? You know. No, Sonia says she's going to remove her videos. Yeah. I guess I just won't tell her that I, you know, mass downloaded everything.
I think it should be short and sweet.
I bet you she thinks her videos should be too. Yeah. Well, moving on today, we do have to get to these stories, and they are some good stuff. But in light of, you know, rediscovering my long-lost brother / cousin / drummer extraordinaire in good old Canada, and I did make reference yesterday to Blade. Yes. Yeah. Well, it wasn't just the Konami Blades of Steel game. Yes. No, it wasn't. I mean, it was, but where it actually came from was a little band out of, New York. A little band called Twisted Sister. They had a tune called Under the Blade. Yes. And yeah, I think now that we got the okay for that, we're going to go ahead and let that roll for Cousin Tony, go for some commercials, and come on the hell back with some Brock Favors and Frankie McDougal. Yeah.
You know you're not going home tonight. Be it jack or switch, doctors are mine. Nowhere to run, everywhere you'll find. You can't escape from the bedroom maid. When your time has come, you'll accept the...
Yeah!
Okay, and the rest is just fluff. But man, that D. Snyder can really blade out.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, I don't know how he does that. I don't know. Well, I saw a thing this morning.
Yes.
Actually, it was a little thing on Facebook there. It's just somebody said, I bought this new deodorant, and it said to remove the cap and push up end.
Yes.
Yeah, so they said they've been walking around all day really funny, and their farts smell. But anyway, yes, let's go for that 2-minute commercial and come back with some real entertainment, shall we?
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Another person we're both fascinated by.
Yeah. Oh, you want to tell me?
You know why? Because you said that a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that... Yeah? You think so, huh? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, see, Gilbert, you were going off so much there, you missed what he said about me. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. We'll take care of it. Well, hey, gang, welcome back to the big show. Yes, your coffee and cigarettes Wednesday grinder for this Wednesday, the 19th August, 2015. 82 degrees Central Park in New York right now. Sun peeking out. Phil says 81. Still no chance of snow in Grand Rapids. Oh, and he says currently there is no traffic. He has looked out the window. Yeah. good to know. And if any of you other listeners would like to give us the latest updates, traffic, weather, or just the condition of your panties, you know, we are HTLA Radio 1, of course,
Yes.
is an equal opportunity destroyer. That's right, and part of our NAACP obligations around this place,
Yes.
well, is to hire a token black man, put him up in a helicopter every day, and crash the sucker. Well, no, this is serious, Gilbert.
Yes.
We checked into this, and apparently, it's apparently not equal and not politically correct to hire a white person to go crash and die every day. No, they say you've got to have you've got to have minorities in there doing those kind of jobs. Indeed, the kind of jobs that the white folk won't do. Yeah, so without any further ado, HTLA's Chopper 1 and Brock Favors today with your coffee and cigarettes traffic report for Wednesday. Brock, take it away.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with traffic on the ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here at the chopper, but I gotta tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh, no, stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10, and it's massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh, God damn, we're gonna die! Oh, my God! Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, mother. Oh, mama. But a 405 is up right now. Ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Well, thank you. That was Brock Favors and HTLA Chopper 1 with your, apparently L.A. traffic.
Yes.
Of course, that information came to me from Phil, who's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So, yeah, I would kind of say, how the hell would he know? Well, moving on today, of course, we do need to get to Frankie McDonald,
yes,
and his lovely "We're all going to die" weather report.
Yes.
But before we do, Gilbert, I
Yes.
think this is where we should throw down. You know, we haven't even started the first bloody story of the day. You know, I want to push it back more. So. You know. So what I think we'll do today is right now, absolutely. You know, I've got the live chat room, of course, and they're ready to vote. And of course, the chat room, Gilbert is going to be number 1.
Yes.
Right. And yours truly here will be number 2.
Yes.
Okay. So be by your little text thingies there, ready to text 1 or 2, whichever person you think did the fastest and best impersonation. I believe Guilford. Guilford. That's it.
Yes.
Hi, Guilford. Yeah. I believe Gilbert is going to, we're going to get you to do your quick draw Seinfeld. You're pretty quick at that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he's going to do Seinfeld. I'm going to pay a little homage to our guest coming tomorrow to join us, the one, the only Morgan Freeman. I'm gonna try that one out.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta get my voice ready here, but you understand, you little troll. Yeah. Okay, so everybody in the chat room, you're all ready. 1 is Gilbert, 2 is yours truly.
Yes.
Okay, and I know you got it.
Yes.
All right, so Gilbert, on the count of 3, I'm going to say draw.
Yes.
Okay, and when you draw and give me your Seinfeld, I'm going to unload with my Morgan as fast as I can right behind you.
Yes.
Okay? All right. All right, Gilbert. 3.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
1.
Yes.
Draw.
Hey, can I see your dick?
Tie yourself down to whatever chair you're sitting in, because this is going to be a rough fucking ride.
There you go. All right. Vote it up now. 1 or 2.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah, I stole it. Yeah. That's right. We when we had Morgan on, of course, we had it all recorded, and I stole the bites. I have to be honest. I forfeit. Number 2, I suck.
Yes.
Oh, it's a good thing I forfeited and told the truth, too, because at least I can feel good about myself, because the only person who voted was Phil DeYoung, and he said you. Well, after all that kind of fun, I really want to get into, I don't know, eating some fresh children. Yeah. Oh, yeah, now Leanne's rubbing salt in the wounds. Oh, yeah, I like 1, too. Yeah. Well, before we get to all of today's exciting mayhem, yes, we do, of course, have to get to our, unfortunate weather programming. Yes. So HTLA's meteorologist, Frankie McDonald, we keep him under the stairs with a 19-inch monitor, but somehow he keeps going out all over the country getting everybody's weather, and we don't know how he does that, why he does that, or indeed, when cars pass him, why they don't hit him. But they don't. He's still alive and kicking, and he does have a report for us today, so hold on to your butts. It's about to get straight in here. Frankie, take it away.
This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station, live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm is heading for South Dakota on Friday, October the 4th, 2013. It's going to bring up to 30-plus millimeters of rain. The rain will fall sideways. The winds are going to be very strong in South Dakota. It's going to be a high winds and heavy rain in South Dakota. It's going to bring colder temperatures as well, because the low pressure is going to intensify. Then it's going to turn into a major storm in South Dakota. It's going to bring a lot of rain, a lot of wind. Because of the warm and humid air, it's going to meet with the cold air coming from the north. That's going to cause a lot of rain. People in South Dakota, be prepared. Have your rubber boots ready, have your raincoats ready, have your rainsuits ready, because a lot of rain, a lot of winds heading for South Dakota. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. It's going to be a stormy conditions in South Dakota. It will affect parts of Nebraska and Minnesota as well. Don't open up your umbrella or your umbrella get broken. It's going to be a heavy downpours, very strong winds. And winds will be howling in South Dakota on Friday, October the 4th, 2013. It's going to be very stormy conditions in South Dakota. When you drive your car, avoid the puddles and don't drive your car to the puddles just in case the car can get stalled. Especially very deep puddles. When you go for a walk, wear your raincoats and wear your rain gear and rubber boots, and put up your hood up on your head to keep your head dry. Don't open up your umbrella, or your umbrella can get broken because it will be way too windy in South Dakota on Friday, October 4th, 2013.
13, yeah.
Winds will be very strong and howling winds in South Dakota. It will also affect parts of Nebraska and parts of Minnesota as well. If it's cold enough, it may bring some little bit of wet snow in South Dakota as well. But the snow will melt on the ground.
Yeah.
Best of luck there, people in South Dakota. Be prepared for a powerful storm.
All right.
Have your iPads charged. Have your iPods charged. Have your iPhones charged. Have your cell phones and tablets charged.
3G.
Buy bottled water. Buy cases of Pepsi and Coke.
Okay, thank you, Frankie, very much.
Have your
That was a good-
crank-up radio ready. Have your 3G and 4G internet ready. Have your flashlights ready. Have your extra batteries ready, just in case the power goes out during the storm.
Right.
In South Dakota on Friday.
Okay.
Best luck to you. People in South Dakota, be prepared for a powerful storm. Take care. And stay safe. Don't get caught in the storm. Be safe.
Oh, okay. Really? Are you sure? I'm actually really wanting to sit here for another 7 to 10 minutes until I'm sure he's done. God.
He needs love, Chris.
Yeah, well, he ain't getting any from me.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
I would say, but under the current situation with Jared possibly going to court tomorrow, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. And don't worry, it's got nothing to do with sex. That
Yes.
No. Jared, he liked little boys, not me. Well, that's right, gang. 53 minutes into the show today, and we finally have Coffee and Cigarettes' first story. Yes, we do. Jared Fogle to plead guilty to child porn and sex with minors. He could appear in federal court tomorrow, they say, if they can find him. Well, out of Indianapolis today, former Subway restaurant pitchman Gerald Fogle appeared in court today on charges of having had sex with minors and distributing and receiving child pornography, according to a plea agreement released by the U.S. Attorney of the Southern District of Indiana. In a court appearance today in Indianapolis that lasted less than 15 minutes, Fogle, who was expected to plead guilty, was advised of his rights and placed on home detention and monitored by GPS. If you like, you can go over to YouTube and log in and watch him at home. That's right. Who doesn't want to see that fat little bastard in HD? Well, no date was set for the hearing on the guilty plea. Prosecutors have agreed to seek a sentence no greater than 12 and a half years. Fogle agreed not to seek a sentence of less than 5 years. In federal cases, prisoners must serve at least 85% of their sentences. Unless, of course, Obama's going to come out next week and give them a break. Well, because Obama says, as long as it's not, severe, violent, drug-related crime.
Yes.
What's a couple of little kids' bum holes? Well, the U.S. Attorney's Office has scheduled a news conference for 12:30 today to discuss the case, and in the documents released today, the plea agreement says Fogle traveled to New York for sex at least 2 minors between about 2010 and 2013 at the Plaza Hotel and the Ritz-Carlton. The victims were 16 and 17 years old. Fogle repeatedly asked one of the minor victims and several others to provide him with access to minors as young as 14 for sex. Now, I wonder if he was luring him with the 6-inch or the foot long. Well, he told one of the victims, quote, "The younger girl, the better," Fogel said. He would really, really make it worth her while if she could find 110. Well, he also offered a humorous prostitute, or numerous, well, I guess humorous too. Yeah. Humorous and numerous prostitutes, apparently adults, with whom he had a sex finder's fee for access to minors that he could pay for sex. Fogel repeatedly made travel plans to have business trips coincide with the pursuit of commercial child sex acts. The plea agreement says that on multiple occasions, between about 2011 and 2015, Fogel received child pornography from Russell C. Taylor. You didn't know that was my online nickname, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, he's the executive director for Jared's charity, the Jared Foundation. The unidentified victims in the photos were as young as approximately 6 years of disgusting age. Well, 12 identified victims were in photos and videos taken secretly at Taylor's home. All live in Southern District of Indiana, which is central Indiana and south. In some cases, Fogel knew the victims' names and where they lived. Fogel agreed to pay the 14 victims $100,000 each as part of the plea agreement. Can I be a victim? I want to... A spokesman for Fogel's attorney, Jeremy Margolis, said Margolis will make a brief statement around 11:30. Fogel will be present but will not speak, the spokesman said. In a statement released by attorney James Reed of Brigham Greenham Dahl LLP on behalf of Fogel's wife, Katie, she said, quote, "Obviously, I'm extremely shocked and disappointed by the recent developments involving my husband, Jared. I am in the process of seeking a dissolution of this sick fuck." Yes, of course. This just in from the pop sensation Sonia Adrian.
Yes.
Tony says, "Eat fresh." There you go. There you go. Yeah. Well, according to the documents, Fogel, 37 years old, faces 1 count of travel to engage in illicit sexual conduct with a minor and 1 count of distribution and receipt of child pornography. Wearing a black suit and tie with a stone-faced expression, Fogel was surrounded by attorneys and U.S. Marshals as he walked into the second-floor court chambers. FBI, Indiana State Police, and other agencies have served search warrants July 7th at Fogel's home in Zionsville, Indiana. Federal officials have declined to comment on any aspect of the case, including the hours-long search that started before sunrise. Fogel's attorney at the time said his client had been cooperating with law enforcement, but that had not been detained, arrested, or charged with any crime or offense. He was, however, awoken at 4 a.m. Well, the search followed the arrest on April 29th of Taylor on preliminary child pornography charges. A statement from Subway at the time said the company believed that the search at Fogel's home was related to the case against Taylor. You might remember we reported that as it happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that day, Subway announced that it had suspended its relationship with that sick fuck. On Tuesday, the company said on Twitter, quote, "We no longer have a relationship with that sick fuck." Well, court documents from Taylor's arrest said that he had produced and possessed pornography involving children, boys, and girls as young as 9 years old. The pornography he is accused of producing was made during the time he was employed by the foundation. The foundation, through trips, to schools and other events, encouraged children to eat healthy food and exercise. That's the same damn thing Michelle Obama says. I bet you she's involved in this child porn thing, too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mark my words. Next week, we're going to have the story. Yep. Well, Fogel fired Taylor soon after his arrest, saying he was shocked and appalled that the foundation was severing all ties with the colleague who often accompanied him to charitable events. Yes, him, the clean one. Well, Taylor apparently attempted suicide a week after his arrest while in custody at the Marion County Jail in Indiana. He remains in federal custody. A tip from a woman who contacted the Indiana State Police prompted the investigation into Taylor, court records said. The woman said Taylor, among other things, offered to send her images and video of young girls having sex with him by text. You know, that's what I got to do on this show. I got to quit thinking that Sharon Chesley and Dev and Leanne and all the girls, they're going to send me anything. I've got to send them stuff. Well, it's a new world, Gilbert.
Yes.
I mean, you know, it's no longer, you know, do you court a lady by picking her up in your car and driving her to the drive-in?
Yes.
No, now it's look at how young this kid is I banged last week. And no, that's not an inference that Jared is black. Black people would never do that. They're too busy taking down shoe stores and selling them on eBay. Well, police had searched Taylor's home on the day he was arrested. Officers found digital media cards and thumb drives that included multiple video files of nude or partially nude minor children, according to court documents. There were more than 400 such videos. Federal prosecutors have twice delayed the filing of formal charges against Taylor. The judge who approved the court orders granting the extensions until September 3rd. Well, he noted that the ends of justice will be served by the delays, indicating the possibility that Taylor was cooperating with investigators. Fogel became a sandwich pitchman after a 1999 article in Indiana University's student newspaper. It detailed how in 1 year, while eating 2 Subway sandwiches per day, Fogel went from 425 pounds with a 60-inch waist to 180 pounds with a 34-inch waist. Now Fogel is planning a new campaign to indicate that the younger you sleep with, the better you'll feel. Well, the following year, Fogel's first Subway commercial was televised, and he became a star. Yeah, starting a career that drove sales for the company. His net worth was estimated at $15 million by CelebrityNetWorth.com. And, now it looks like about $48.12. And moving on today, speaking of $12 or $48.12.
Yes.
Well, we got Donald Trump.
Yes.
Here we go. Yes, Donald Trump on Kelly Flapp, Clinton emails, Cosby, and more. We got it all for you here at HTLA Gang. And Donald Trump has at times been criticized for being light on policy specifics, immigration notwithstanding, during the opening months of his presidential campaign. But that doesn't mean that he's been, tight on any other issues. No, to say the least. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter today, the current leader in the GOP presidential poll shares his thoughts on a range of issues, including the controversy over his comments about Fox News' Megyn Kelly, Hillary Clinton's email use, and, of course, the State Department, and so much more. Here's a few highlights for you. On Megyn Kelly, for example, Trump sparked criticism with his remark following the August 6th GOP debate in Cleveland that Kelly had blood coming out of her wherever. He says, how does he feel about the dust-up in retrospect? Well, he says, to be honest, the whole subject was fun, Trump said, explaining that he had what he had and as he had before his comments had been misconstrued by that dumb bitch. He also addressed whether he'd appear on Kelly's show. Unlikely, he says, but it could happen. On the Hillary Clinton email scandal, yes, your Scooby-Doo update.
Yes.
This looks like a Watergate on steroids, frankly. As Trump said regarding the Democratic presidential frontrunner's exclusive use of private email accounts while she served as Secretary of State, quote, "You can't have a nominee who is under investigation," he added. Don't investigate me. Now we get into the nitty-gritty of rape 45 years ago.
Yes.
That's right. On Bill Cosby, Trump explained that he has never been a fan of the comedian's humor, which he described as slow and stupid. He also weighed in on the allegations that Cosby drugged dozens of women over the years and sexually assaulted them, including a recent revelation that Cosby admitted during a deposition that he had acquired drugs for this purpose. Well, Trump says, what amazes me is that he was so quiet, and then you see these depositions, Trump said in the interview. What was he doing? Was he drunk? You see, he admitted all this stuff on top of everything else. I think he's weird. Oh, you're just saying that. Yeah. And on whether he'd serve as vice president, Trump says, I just don't think it would be good for them. I don't think it would be good for me, Trump said, in case anyone was holding out a hope for a Bush, Trump, Walker, Rubio, whatever. And on who should play him in a movie about the 2016 campaign. He says, somebody really, really handsome. That's the only thing that matters, Trump said. There you go. So there's your Trump update.
Yes.
And, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
$88,000 a year they make, approximately, average, 80s, let's say.
You
and
drunk.
there's 1,000, that's $88 million a year that we're paying in taxpayers.
I told you, Louis, get that Harper guy out. Yeah, just get him gone.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I know. You were all about him when he started. Well, we're going to go for that second commercial break.
Break for a commercial.
Thank you, boss. Don't you worry, when we come back, all about our child sex theme Wednesday. That's right. When we come back, we're going to tell you about the college prostitution ring that offered a sex menu of services, and all I can say is I want more student loans. When can I go? No, seriously, a menu? Come on, back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's get to the one store with more number one choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Break for a commercial.
Well, I could, but then I'd have to kill you. You could just go on for days with that, couldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there were complaints about it where I think, like, they were saying, like, they were going to censor it or stop in Britain, saying this is against the laws of nature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you got confused, Gilbert. That's what they were saying about Sonia Adrian's new hit. Yeah. That's right. Well, welcome back to the show, gang. Your Coffee and Cigarettes Wednesday Grinder, HTLA Radio 1, New York's Best Talk. That's right. Get on over to NewYorksBestTalk.com, or I'm not getting paid. Yeah. And now they threw that down this morning. You get them there, or we're not paying you.
Yes.
So, for the love of God, I need my cigarettes. NewYorksBestTalk.com. Get over there. They want to see some participation, some explicit child photos being transferred. Well, you gotta do it.
Yes.
You're just not living unless you're sharing some 8-year-old.
Yes.
How about, I know what we should do. I got it down.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what we're going to do. We're going to play Under the Blade for Tony. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Only if you dress up as Dee Snider with the lipstick. I would definitely give you $25,000 to see that, Louie.
Yes.
Yeah, see, Gilbert would too. There you go. Welcome back to the show. I'd like to welcome Sharon Chesley for finally getting her sluggish, sorry ass in here. And also, Phil DeYoung says, still 81 there, and says, is it raining out or something? I'm like, well, dude, I said it was 82 in Central Park with the sun poking out and everything's just fine. I don't know. I
could see you feel very uncomfortable talking.
I'm not following you.
Now,
here.
there was another time you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
Not anymore.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Did you have sex with kids? Huh?
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, really? So you had, like, other things with kids? Next, he'd be telling us how he used to, pay for kids to go down to this cellar down somewhere in Greenwich Village there. And
yes.
He'd just pay to cut them all open and splay all their innards everywhere. It puts the lotion on its skin. Or it gets the hose again. Yes. See, and that's why Louie keeps asking me, which woman are you with now?
Yes.
That's because I always, pit them pretty soon. Well, moving on today, yes, don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We've got all sorts of kid sex to go. Yes. Yes, if you're a pedophile and just tuning in, you'll want to stay tuned. Oh, look, it's a black man. I'm sorry, I don't actually get a chance before the show oftentimes to really delve in and grab these stories by their balls. And,
yes.
I pretty much just get the headlines and go. So I guess with that,
No, I would say, go ahead.
Oh, gee, thanks. Okay. San Antonio, Texas, of course. That's right, Sharon's hometown. According to the arrest report of a man police said was the head of a prostitution ring, there was a sex menu for clients of the college prostitutes. Men who paid for sex knew the business as, quote, Schoolgirls by Jazzleen. Now, the website has now been taken down, but they didn't get it before I withdrew my registration. That's right. But the police affidavit said the menu of so-called services was listed on the site. The menu gave descriptions of the women, their measurements, and what they could do for a paying customer. On Monday, San Antonio police arrested 38-year-old Stephen Charles Sumlin. Did you like that? Stephen Charles Sumlin? Who they said targeted college-aged women. He's accused of forcing up to 30 women into prostitution in Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio. He was arrested on suspicion of aggravated promotion of prostitution. Authorities said Sumlin lured the women into prostitution with internet ads and the promise of easy money for modeling. Once they were in, police said that he would use intimidation and force to prevent them from leaving. I'm getting an erection. Well, those same women turned their alleged pimp over to police Friday after an undercover police sting, according to the San Antonio Police Department arrest affidavit. An undercover detective went to a home posing as a John. Several women were at the home when he arrived, according to the affidavit. He was taken then to an upstairs bedroom where he gave a donation fee. A donation fee of $300. The escort, completely disrobed, laid down on the bed and asked the undercover detective to do the same. The officer said in the affidavit, at this point, the undercover detective asked if she had a condom. Several police officers entered the house without condoms. And before anything could happen, the women told police Sumlin was the man in charge of the operation. San Antonio police worked with the Texas Attorney General's office and police departments in Austin and Dallas as part of a 6-month investigation. Sumlin was arrested at a home in northwest San Antonio. Police said Sumlin was also known as Anthony Lamar, motherfucker. It's like you walk up to the guy.
Yes.
Yo, man, what's up? You'd be like, Sumlin. Well, despite same-sex marriage rulings, gang, gay adoption rights are still uncertain in most states. That's right. You know what? You can go and bang whoever you want.
Yes.
And get a little Sumlin.
Yes.
You go do that all you want, but as soon as you want to touch our kids... Oh, wait, we're on the kids again. This whole damn show is about touching kids. Help me. Help me. My God.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. Well, as soon as Daniel Nurse met baby Cameron in 2011, he knew he wanted to adopt him. It was just like an instant love. He was so sweet and loving, and seeing him smile, it was just an instant connection. Nurse of Tallahassee, Florida, said of the baby, then 11 months old, "And look, you can dress him up in all these cute little outfits." But going about adopting Cameron proved challenging for Nurse and his husband, Casanova. No, I'm not even making that up. That's his name.
Yes.
Florida's 1977 ban on gay adoption had only recently been overturned when the nurses began looking to take in foster children in 2011 with the hope of ultimately adopting them. Wow, really? Putting up with all that BS from foster kids just to do that? Really? Well, same-sex couples have long been able to adopt from private gay-friendly adoption agencies. Adopting children from the foster care system has proved more difficult in most states. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision in June that made same-sex marriage legal nationwide is changing that, but not everywhere, particularly in states with laws that limit joint adoption to a husband and wife. Marriage doesn't create this completely certain playing field, says Ellen Kahn, director of the Children, Youth, and Families program at the Human Rights Campaign, which advocates for gay rights. And some states have taken up legislation that would allow taxpayer-funded contractors to oversee state options and adoptions to refuse to let gay or lesbian individuals adopt children if it conflicts with the organization's religious beliefs. Michigan passed a law right before the court decision. The nurses became familiar with all these roadblocks when adopting Cameron and their 2 other children. The couple found that they were limited in which contractors they could work with because some wouldn't allow gay and lesbian couples to adopt. And though Florida's ban on gay adoption was overturned in 2010, the nurses were still unable to marry in the state until this year. Thus, they couldn't file adoption paperwork at all. The adoptions had to be filled under Daniel's name only, and the couple faced the added time and expense of adding Casanova's name later.
Yeah.
Well, change does come state by state. 13 states, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Moncton, Kingston, Jenkin, sorry, I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah.
North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Texas prohibited same-sex marriage before the Supreme Court decision, so fuck you. All but Arkansas and Tennessee also had policies in place that do not allow gay and lesbian couples to adopt foster children. According to the Human Rights Campaign in Alabama, where the federal court overruled the state's ban on gay marriage, gay couples were also not allowed to adopt jointly. It's just no. Well, many of those states are changing their policies in the aftermath of the Supreme Court decision. That's the case in North Dakota, where the law allows single people to adopt, but specifies that adopting couples must be husband and wife. Well, it's simple, says Julie Hoffman, adoptions administrator for the Department of Human Services. Now that gay couples are allowed to marry, they'll be treated like any other married couple who is adopting. Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, and Missouri, Ohio, and South Dakota are also changing their practices to allow gay couples to marry and go through the adoption process together. Some of them said that they were starting to update their forms to make them gender neutral. Well, in Alabama, married and gay couples will be allowed to adopt a foster child, but they'll have to wait longer than most. The state requires married couples interested in adopting to have been married for at least a year before beginning the adoption process. Well, isn't that fair? There's a hell of a lot of couples, at least around New York City, that are getting split up after 12 years. So Mississippi is the only state that the law has that specifically bars gay couples from adopting foster children, and Julia Bryan, spokeswoman for the State Department of Human Services, said that the law will be followed unless the legislature makes any changes when it reconvenes in January. However, the ban is being challenged in the courts, but not much movement on that since early June. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services will also wait on the legislature before changing how it operates. According to a spokesman, Julie Moody, gay couples in the state will have to continue to have one member of the couple formally adopt a child, she said. And the other member has to come back later and do a second parent adoption, a similar process to a step-parent adopting a stepchild, and more money for us. Nebraska policy prevented unmarried couples, gay or straight, from fostering or adopting state wards until 2012, when the state started allowing gay couples to become foster parents, ultimately placing foster children with 15 same-sex couples, according to the Omaha World Herald. A county judge recently struck down the unmarried couple ban, but the state is planning to challenge that, saying that the broad scope of the order would require its Department of Human and Health Services to treat unrelated unmarried adults residing together the same as it treats individuals and married couples. A statement from the Attorney General's office said that it would make it more difficult to make placements in the best interest of the children. Who gives a frick about the children? Come on. That side was brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City. Yeah. Well, and then let's look at the implications religiously, shall we? Yeah, tie yourself down to whatever chair it is you're sitting in, because it's about to get a rough bucket ride. That's right. Although the court decision is leading to changes in some states, others are creating new roadblocks to gay adoption. Michigan is one of the first states to enact a law that allows groups that contact with the state to oversee adoptions to decline service to any person or couple that conflicts with their sincerely held religious beliefs. Similar bills were considered in Alabama, Florida, and Texas. Republican State Rep Thomas Hooker, who worked on the Michigan bill, said that he was worried that if the state didn't pass the law, it might have lost 30%, roughly, of adoption agencies in the state that has contracts that are religiously affiliated. That has happened in other states. Some Catholic organizations in Illinois and Massachusetts shut down rather than violate their conscience by serving gay couples. But opponents of the Michigan law say its language is too broad, giving religious organizations leeway to discriminate not just against gay couples, but single people, interracial couples, people of other faiths, or anybody who, say, conflicts with their faith. Discrimination shouldn't be happening at all, and it shouldn't be done using taxpayer dollars, says Lonnie Scott, the executive director of Progress Michigan, an ancient group that still makes stone wheels. They're also an advocacy group that lobbied against the law. Hooker said that the law doesn't pose a disadvantage to gay couples because the organizations will have to refer anyone that they turn down to an organization that is willing to serve them. Well, you know, I hear in Canada they'll let you do it. Yeah. Why don't you go on up there and... Yeah. Well, there you go. While religious groups often argue that same-sex parents could be damaging to children, nearly all research has found the opposite. A 2015 project at Columbia University assembled scholarly peer-reviewed studies on the well-being of children with gay parents. Of 77 studies, just 4 found that having gay parents negatively impacts a child. Well, sure, because, you know, it might be all right for that nature side of everything.
Yes.
You know, but... yeah, when it comes to being a man, I don't think we can cut it, sweetie. No, seriously, I got a question about this now. Now. Come on. Now, what? You think the little gay couple is going to take them out hunting?
Yes.
Do you think the gay couple is going to take them out fishing?
Yes.
No. Oh, my God, it would clash with my outfit. No, they're not going to do that. So, of course, those children are being denied all those experiences. But, you know, when they get to be 13 or 14, I'm sure they'll have no shortage of finding the men-on-men Turkish magazines, won't they? Right. Well, even states that require agencies to work with gay couples said there are no guarantees against discrimination in deciding whether to allow them to adopt or not. It's easy to find a way to say no to a couple. Damn straight. Yes, easy to say no. Well, that's right. That's why I do it all the time. And it's easy to prioritize some couples over others, says April Dinwoodle. Wow. April Dinwoodle. Yeah. Jeez. Muhammad Al Dinwoodle. Yeah. Well, April Dinwoodle, the chief executive of the Donaldson Adoption Institute, which researches adoption policies, said that if caseworkers have a bias, they can find something within a home study that doesn't suit them, or they can find a reason a child wouldn't be a good fit for a home. Love is love, damn it. Daniel Nurse went to Florida's Capitol earlier this year to testify against a bill that would have protected state contractors the ability to turn him away. He put up pictures of his family. In addition to Cameron, now 4, the couple has adopted Nigel. Oh, yeah, okay. They're doing the Brad and Angie thing. They're bringing in Africans. Well, you know, I guess if you know, you're gay and you're trying to adopt in this country, and you know you're getting to talk to the hand or the next window, you know, guess there's nothing to do but go down to war-torn Africa and see if you can grab a few of them. Well, love is unconditional, damn it. Love is love, and love is what these children deserve, Nurse said. A person's lifestyle shouldn't matter if they can provide love and compassion in between ass-banging. Why can't we do that? You know, if I can go get the kid a drink and a little snack and then go back to having his scrotum pound mine, why... Oh, and I just love when his scrotum pounds mine. Well, the bill passed in the House, but later died in Senate. It was a big year for gay rights in Florida. The legislature also passed a bill that formally removed the 1977 ban on gay adoption from law. This wasn't just a symbolic move. It was an appellate court that overturned the ban, but the matter never came before the Supreme Court, and may Lord in heaven rule the day that scrotum slapping ever happens in the Supreme Court. I don't even think I could do it, Gilbert.
Yes.
Do you think you could come before Supreme Court?
Yes.
Yeah? just kind of just distribute that love. Yeah? I don't know. I could probably do it with the right visual stimuli. Yeah. Well, and you've heard me say it for months now.
Yes.
Well, no, indeed years.
Yes.
Yeah, you've heard me say it. That's right. There are no Special Forces women pretty much anywhere on the frickin' planet. There's no Navy SEALs.
Yes.
There's no, well, there was no Army Rangers. That's right. The old Crash Man is very sad to report this week that 2 female soldiers have indeed graduated Army Ranger School. You know, what do I say here? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yes, I am. Bow your heads for a moment of silence, please. Now they're carrying the casket of the world's manhood. That's right, we're gay and we're adopting and then we're going back to scrotum banging. Yes. Oh, well, I'm a real woman and I'm going to go kick ass in Team America. America. Fuck yeah. So lick my butt and suck on my balls. Yeah. Well, that's right. Actually, I didn't really need to play taps there.
Yes.
I just wanted a cigarette.
Yes.
Well, that's right, gang. The 2 female soldiers who will graduate this week from the U.S. Army's legendary Ranger School were identified Wednesday as Captain Kirsten Greist and First Lieutenant Shay Haver. Oh, look at that. They made them officers, too. Yeah. In a statement, the families of Greist and Haver said that the 2 just want to celebrate as a team with their entire class and asked for privacy. Wow, did you watch Demi Moore too much or something? Really? Yes, we're going to take us from the script now. Now we have to have a conspiracy.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Greist and Haver will graduate Friday at Fort Benning in Georgia and will get to wear the coveted Ranger tab, a mark of distinction throughout the Army. However, they will not be able to serve in the Ranger Regiment because of a ground ban on combat for women. Neener. That's right, soldiers. We'll train you for the shit, but you ain't going in the shit. Come on, Haver, get moving. Greist, move your titties. Up, down, up, down, up, down. What do you mean you don't have a dick? Well, girl, you better stand up and grow one right now. You better grow a dick. Yes, and that's just the morning roll call. Captain Grice and Lieutenant Haver are just like all the soldiers in Class 815, happy, relieved, and ready for some good food and sleep, the statement said. Like everyone who will pin the tab on Friday, they are exceptional soldiers and strong teammates.
Just don't put them in the shit! God, it'll be terrible. We'll have Taliban screwing them. We'll be having gangbangs in the Abrams.
You see the girls in Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
No, you didn't. No, you see the girls in the Guns of Navarone? Huh? No. Oh, shit. Well, let's get more recent. How about the Guns in the girls in Inglourious Bastards? How about? Oh, that's not fair. There was one there. She was a sexy French spy. You know, and she got to wear the nice outfits and the heels.
Yes.
Had some Nazi pig strangler to death, you know. Well, Grice and Haver are the first women to complete the course, considered the Army's most physically challenging. Of course, as far as the Navy SEALs go, that's a Saturday. Since it was open to them on an experimental basis this past year. Oh, see, here we go. This is a Demi Moore thing. It's experimental, sorry.
You can't send them into combat. They're experimentals.
Yes, that was my General Whack Job Hatfield. Yeah. Oh, that's right, and I'd like to point out, Phil DeYoung says you never saw any in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Had there been, there would have been, well, more nail polish, probably prettier colored cars, and Private Ryan would be dead. The graduation on Friday will mark a key milestone on the military's ongoing efforts to open frontline combat units to women, gays, and transsexuals. Yeah. That's right. The military services have pledged to do so without compromising their standards. Yeah, good luck. Well, the military services have until the end of the year to submit plans for opening all jobs to women. The services can request waivers, but it would need to extensively document why women should not serve in specific fields. Well, let's see. I can do an 18-hour show right after this one, listing them all off. But I digress.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to do that because I've got the suspect who has been arrested in the Statue of Liberty bombing hoax. Yes, that's right. A West Virginia man was arrested today. Charges he carried out the Statue of Liberty bombing hoax that forced the evacuation of more than 3,200 people in April 2015. Jason Paul Smith, 42, was taken into custody and charged with conveying false and misleading information and hoaxes. Federal and local law enforcement authorities in New York City said today. He allegedly called the emergency 911 system from his iPad on April 24th, identified himself as Abdul El-Yassin. Well, no, it is actually fun, Gilbert.
Yes.
I do it all the time. Well, I'm Ahmed of the Crimson Jihad. Yes. I've been doing that since 1998, but they know I'm bullshit now. They just hang up on me. Yes, he described himself as Abdul Yassin and an Izzy terrorist, not ISIS.
Yes.
No, Izzy, after the famed rock band Izzy.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, and threatened that we are preparing to blow up the Statue of Liberty, according to a federal court complaint. Doesn't he know that terrorists don't threaten to do something? They blow this shit up and then claim responsibility. Yeah, you can't. Why are you going to phone and threaten? That gives them time to get ready, and the body count is minimal.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Goddamn frickin' pansy actor terrorists. Dirka Muhammad Jihad. Well, Abdul Rahman Yassin is the name of the last remaining fugitive indicted for the February 1993 terrorist bombing of the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan. New York City police and other agency teams swept the areas in and around the famed statue on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. With the aid of canine units trained to detect explosives, they evacuated tourists and others from the island and ultimately determined the bombing threat was unfounded. Alexander Hurst, an FBI special agent assigned to the Joint Terrorist Task Force in New York, wrote in the court complaint that Smith issued the warning through a service that helps hearing-impaired individuals make and receive phone calls. So let me get this straight.
Yes.
He's not just terrorizing you audibly through the phone.
Yes.
No, he's pumping out his threats in the Braille machine. Yeah. Well, the investigator wrote that he later learned that Smith said that he had attended school for the deaf and the blind. Yes, highly trained terrorists. Well, Hearst's review of communication records found that the iPad registered in Smith's name had been used to make additional 911 calls. They included at least 2 calls on May 18th, 2015, involving threats to kill police officers at the Brooklyn Bridge and to blow up a bridge at Times Square, which doesn't have a bridge.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm simply going to cut it with torches. And,
yes.
We are going to lift it with our Jihad 1 helicopter and fly it over Times Square and bring it down nice and slow. And then we will raise pillars of holy fire. Yes.
Yes.
Well, an account associated with Smith's email address was also used to make 18 other calls to the 911 emergency system during a 3-day period in January 2015. Hearst wrote, Smith has a 2001 conviction in Virginia's Stanton Circuit Court on charges of communicating written threats of death or bodily injury. The court complaint said he was also convicted in that court in May of 2006 on a charge of threatening to bomb or burn buildings, the complaint said. Smith is expected to make an initial federal court appearance later today in the Northern District of Texas, of course. He could face a minimum 5-year prison sentence if convicted on the new charge against him, according to the Manhattan U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara. But if he's actually given any kind of, credence by the judge at all, they're going to put him away for life because this guy's just whack. He is whack, and boy, do we have more whack. That's right. How about a sinister kids book that makes them go to sleep? That's right. There's a new children's book out, and it isn't just written for kids. It's written to make them fall asleep and fast. Author Carl Johan Elrond, a Swedish behavioral psychologist, says he filled The Rabbit Who Wants to Fall Asleep with psychological reinforcement techniques to make young listeners doze off in minutes. This could also work well for dating. Well, The Independent reports that these techniques are formed in a way to help the child relax and take it easy. I guess just about everything in Bill Cosby's list. Yes, sleep faster and sleep harder every night, Forston Elrond says. The tale gives suggestions to the child's unconscious mind to sleep. Not only does protagonist Roger the Rabbit encounter characters like Sleep Snail and Heavy-Eyed Owl, and of course, our family favorite, Uncle Yawn. But parent readers are instructed to yawn often and speak in italicized words in a calm and slow manner, the Telegraph reports. Do you think it's bizarre? Well, in the first self-published book to top Amazon's bestseller list, he also writes for HTLA, and we know our listeners are sleeping now. They've completely stopped talking in the chat room for like the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
So. All right, Gilbert, help me with her panties. Well, Forston Elrond says he got the idea from a long road trip when his mom dozed off, and he realized the power of his techniques. Yes, you're just a boring little kid.
Yeah.
He devised a story within 3 years and saw the Swedish version published in 2011. The English translation appeared last year. In the story, Roger the Rabbit is just like the child in needing to fall asleep, a doctor tells CBS News. So the whole time you're talking about sleep, you're trying to solve the problem about sleep, and you see how the character falls asleep. But while Amazon reviews are mostly glowing, Imogen Williams at The Guardian considers the book manipulation. It's sinister and terrifying. Yes, bedtime stories are not, to me, about deceiving your child into conking out, she writes, and vows to continue her bedtime pilgrimages up and down the stairs. After all, she says, there's always gin. Yes, don't listen to that child terrorist. No, we will get them with booze. All right, before the next story, Gilbert Seinfeld.
Hey, can I see your dick?
Damn, buddy, you are fast with that shit.
Yes.
Well, oh, damn, we do? Okay, all right. Says we gotta go for a commercial. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Break for a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on enough radio shows to know that in the middle of an answer, the guy is like checking the boards and looking over notes and talking to other people. Yes. See? Now you're impressed.
If only it was you doing that. Yeah.
Same thing.
No, I wouldn't say so. I'm the guy here sweating and busting ass. Me right alongside a Kissy Springer. Yeah. Yes, she's She's working out good today. Huh?
You know, I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Yes, but as I like to remind the listeners every single day you say that, you're in your apartment probably alone. Yeah.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're all about it, and we're all about having you here. It's,
you love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Yeah.
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
WEREBACK at NewYorksBestTalk.com. That's right. We are back, and you are listening to HTLA at Radio 1, New York's Best Talk, and this is Coffee and Cigarettes, your Wednesday grinder. 19th August 2015, 81 degrees Central Park right now. Still sunny, a little bit peeking out of those clouds. There's some of that stuff going on there. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Temperature, I guess, is not changed as Phil DeYoung there, HTLA's tertiary weatherman, would have told us. So rest assured, Grand Rapids, you're safe under the watchful eye of Phil DeYoung. That's right. And of course, just a few minutes ago, we actually got the word from him that there was no traffic issues. He did look outside his window.
Yes.
There we go. So welcome back to the big show today. And, of course, we got a couple more stories for you. Well, one's about an old president. One's about, the idiot we have now. Of course, the old president being Mr. Bill Clinton, who turns 69 years old today, and he's bidding for the oldest presidential spouse like a bitch. That's right. Former President Bill Clinton celebrates his 69th birthday today. Another reminder that he is now pursuing another niche in history, the oldest presidential spouse. Well, I guess if we got women Army Rangers, why the hell not, right? Well, Bill Clinton, who would surpass former First Lady Barbara Bush or Anna Harrison, depending on how you look at it, if Hillary Clinton becomes the nation's first female president. Yeah, right. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. If Hillary Clinton becomes the nation's first female president after the 2016 elections, Anna Harrison was 65 years old when President William Henry Harrison took the oath of office on March 4th, 1841. But she held the title only 1 month before her husband, aged 68, died from pneumonia. Barbara Bush was 63 years old when President George H.W. Bush took office in January of 1989. He served a full term, meaning Mrs. Bush was 67 when she and her husband moved out of the White House 4 years later to make room for Bill and Hillary Clinton. She is also the mother of another president, George W. Bush, and 2016 Republican candidate Jebediah Bush. Hillary Clinton, by the way, turned 69 in 2016. If successful, she would be the second oldest president to take the oath behind only Ronald Reagan. But she will be the first Scooby-Doo. And in Obama news... Yes, President Obama. Obama is to visit New Orleans for Katrina anniversary. That's right. President Obama will mark the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina by visiting New Orleans on the 27th of August, the White House said today. Since taking office, Obama has made it a key priority to continue and expedite the recovery and rebuilding efforts in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history, said a White House statement today. During his visit a week from Thursday, Obama will meet with residents who have rebuilt their lives in the decade since the deadly storm of 2005. While in the city, the president will deliver remarks on the region's rebirth and what's possible when citizens, city, and corporate leaders all work together to lift up their communities and build back in ways that make them even more innovative and positioned for economic growth, the White House said. No thanks to the White House. Obama also visited New Orleans back in 2010, the 5th anniversary of Katrina. And, yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it, and that's it for us. Yes, we're out of here. I want to thank the one, the only Louis Lawless, 35-time nominated director, never won a goddamn thing. Thank you for being here today, sir.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
Now, we covered that. You got to pay attention.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, we'll get it right out to you.
It's about fucking time. Move on. Move on.
Also want to thank the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried for being here today.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
Oh, yeah. Pop quiz, Leno.
So I read somewhere that you have a dick. Can you show it to me?
And thanks to the HTLA listeners out there, and of course Sharon Hunley Chesley, Phil DeYoung, Devlon Crawford, of course the new pop sensation Sonia Adrian. Yes. And for those of you who missed it, who are just tuning in now, don't worry. Right after the theme here, we'll put it on again for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to thank her and my cousin Tony for sitting around today and, well, getting embarrassed and, well, plotting to kill me. Yeah. And don't worry, the check is in the mail to you as well. Yeah. Also, God, so many people to thank. Caroline, John, Denny, Tom Grote, Phyllis Griffiths. God, there's so many of you out there. We appreciate and love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, guys. Oh, look. Damn, Sharon even stuck around.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, gang, have yourselves a great rest of your hump day. We'll catch you here tomorrow, Thursday. Yes, the double-double coming at you, 5 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.